for this week's report. The deliberative session is this weekend. The Window Dressers program with the Energy Committee is successful. And the Select Board held its annual bond and budget hearing. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. Thanks for tuning into the show today. It's a quick one this week, but it's an important one. Before we get started, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and like this video to help spread the word about the show and all things Exeter. For our first segment, we have another reminder about tomorrow's upcoming deliberative session. Tomorrow, Saturday, February 1st, is the deliberative session. The meeting kicks off at 9 a.m. at Exeter High School. What is a deliberative session, and why should you be there? Before most of our local towns switched to the SB2 style of government, they held traditional New England town and school meetings. Everything, the budget, the warrant articles, zoning amendments, was thoroughly discussed by the voters at one meeting and then decided by a vote of those present. With SB2, there are two sessions. The deliberative session comes first. That is when the voters can discuss amendments to the budgets and warrant articles. The second, the voting session, is when we cast our votes on the official ballot for the budget, warrants, and candidates. If you want to discuss and have some input as to what goes on the official ballot at the voting session, you have to be at the deliberative session. Otherwise, on voting day, you can only vote on what others have already decided. Some of the large items this year include the town's operating budget, groundwater development, and removing the Pickpocket Dam. The full town warrant can be found on the town's election website alongside the proposed FY25 budget and the default budget. The town manager's office has also prepared a fact sheet with explanations of all of the town's warrant articles. Also on the website is the 2025 budget summary with highlights from the operating budget. Physical copies of the fact sheet will be available at the high school during the meeting. Doors open at 8 a.m. with voter check-in soon after. Voters are encouraged to bring a photo ID to speed up the check-in process with the supervisors of the checklist to get your voter card. For residents interested in the school system, the Exeter Elementary School District Deliberative Session will be held on Tuesday, February 4th at 6 p.m. at Lincoln Street School, while the Exeter Region Cooperative School District Session will be held on Wednesday, February 5th at 6:30 p.m. at Exeter High School. These sessions are much like the town sessions where warrant articles and budgets for the schools can be debated and amended before heading to the election. After the town holds its deliberative session, the town warrant moves to the voting session or town election on Tuesday, March 11th. For all your election information, visit the town website at exeternh.gov/elections. Ahead of the deliberative session, the Select Board held its annual bond and budget hearing last week to discuss the warrant articles. The meeting is a great preview of what's to come at tomorrow's session. Dan Monchek has this recap from our meeting minutes series.
This is your meeting minute for the January 21st Select Board meeting. The meeting began by opening a bond and budget hearing, where the Select Board reviewed the proposed warrant articles and took votes to either recommend or not recommend these articles. It was a lengthy meeting with 34 proposed warrant articles, including 5 articles that require a bond, and 6 citizens' petitions. The proposed warrant articles include Article 3, which seeks to raise and appropriate $6,800,000 to design, engineer, and construct a new groundwater source off Drinkwater Road.
This project has been in our capital improvement program for the last several years. We have just completed pump testing off Drinkwater Road for a new groundwater well source. It's a pretty significant project and thus the pretty significant price tag on it.
We've had a plan to develop a suite of water sources ever since I came on the Select Board in 2012. Of all the articles on the warrant, they're all important. I think this might rise to the level of the most important.
The board went on to discuss Article 4, or the Pickpocket Dam removal. This article seeks to raise and appropriate $2,100,000 for the project.
Pickpocket has been declared a high-hazard dam by the New Hampshire DES. The town is under a letter of deficiency to do something about that, and it may be offset by 100% grants, although we don't know right now how much in grant money we may receive.
Removal of the dam is not only the least expensive from a financial standpoint, but it's probably the cleanest, environmentally sound way to take care of this issue.
Next up was Article 5, which seeks to raise and appropriate $1,257,900 for repairs to the Lincoln Street Bridge.
We worked on the design last year and bid this project in December, but when we opened bids, it was significantly higher than our existing appropriation. We are asking for the additional funding this year to rebid this project and complete it in 2025.
Other articles that were discussed in this meeting include a fuel station replacement for DPW, the purchase of a new street sweeper, the cleaning and inspection of Clemson Lagoon, and other town projects. The board went on to open the operating budget hearing. The total operating budget for FY25 sits at $23,983,368, which is a 4.91% increase from last year.
The Budget Recommendations Committee thoroughly vetted this budget in a very thoughtful and responsible fashion, and the budget that they recommended to the Select Board in early December was slightly higher than the budget you're seeing tonight.
A lot of the drivers behind that budget increase in the general fund budget is the health insurance increase and then the effort to retain our existing employees. They do great work, and we don't want to lose them because they are hard to replace.
The board went on to hear several citizens' petition articles, one of which was a request to discontinue the Community Revitalization Tax Incentive Program adopted by Exeter in 2014.
In 2014, it may have been beneficial, but I think we're losing a lot of tax money, as you can see right now.
The board then heard from Karishma Manzur regarding 5 citizens' petition articles. The articles called upon elected representatives to use the government's influence to address political issues being faced by the United States and globally. If these petitions gain a majority vote, they would be sent to Exeter's state and federal representatives and the governor of New Hampshire.
This is our only avenue to try to move our government towards the right direction, what we would consider to be the right direction.
After that, the board discussed a TIF amendment that would add 3 capital projects to the plan. This includes $880,000 to widen Epping Road, $180,000 to pave Industrial Drive and Commerce Way, and $850,000 for water and sewer improvements. This article would have no tax impact, as no amount needs to be raised by taxation.
When I wrote the TIF in 2015, I estimated that over 10 years we could create $130 million in new taxable properties. Between 2016 and 2024, we've raised not $160 million.
The board voted unanimously to recommend all the warrant articles considered at the meeting, except for the citizens' petitions. Traditionally, the board does not take votes on citizens' petitions unless they are legally obligated to do so, such as if the citizens' petition has a monetary value to it. The next step in the town meeting process is the deliberative session at Exeter High School on Saturday, February 1st. See you there.
The Energy Committee recently partnered with the Window Dressers program to bring their energy-saving window inserts to Exeter with great success. Gabe Perez has more on the program.
Volunteer work began early last weekend in the Exeter Town Hall as the Window Dressers program, heralded by the Exeter Energy Committee, began a workshop helping citizens in town conserve their heat and resources with the help of dozens of volunteers. The Window Dressers are a non-profit organization that coordinates volunteers to help create custom-fitted inserts to an individual's windows. These inserts, using simple wooden outer frames and a foam inner gasket, prevent the heat from leaving your home and the cold from coming in, saving both money and energy during the process. On the weekend of January 18th to the 23rd, multiple volunteers spent their days tirelessly constructing these inserts, coordinating with one another on a design-by-design basis based on who was ordering them and what their window dimensions were, allowing hundreds of inserts to be made each day. We had a quick chat with several volunteers, including Planning Board Chair Langdon Plummer, a frequent volunteer, and asked about the progress they've made and why volunteering for community events is important.
It's very satisfying. It's neat. It's not a rush here. So we got maybe 12 people on the 4-8 shift. and we have time to take a break halfway through, but you need nice people, people who want to help each other. Some of the folks from here are the customers, if you will. So they're wrapping other windows from other families in the area that we're serving. It's really good to know.
Part of the idea of the community build is both it's building windows, but it's also building community. It's an opportunity for people to get together, get to know each other, work together on building those windows. So it's really been a pretty cool process. People really loved it. Lots of people who have volunteered have come back for extra shifts just because they enjoyed it.
Local resident Tom Bergeron was kind enough to allow us inside his home to get a better look at what a completed window insert looks like.
The process to buy the inserts was really straightforward. Once we get in touch, the town got in touch with us, the Energy Committee got in touch with us as far as doing the inserts. A group came out, 2 of them, and they measured all our windows, getting exact measurements. From that, they were able to generate a quote for us, let us know what the cost would be. It was pretty affordable to do. There was no pressure or anything. It's here's what it costs, here's what the inserts look like, and if you want to go forward with it, go with the program. We've definitely noticed different areas in the house that are warmer. Coming down the stairs, there's a window there that you could feel in the morning, the draft coming in. That's all gone. Our laundry room is very small with 2 big windows in it, and having those windows covered up now keeps that area kind of quite a bit warmer. And the kitchen area as well, here behind me. This has always been a cool part of the house. We don't have a lot of heat in this room, just one small kick radiator, and it's really kept this area quite a bit warmer as well. So if you missed the program in 2024, 2025, I think it's a great program. I'd highly recommend going forward with it. It's a bunch of things. There's the energy and cost savings. I think one of the cool things is you built the insert yourself. It's part of the program as you volunteer. And great community building. Just meeting some really great folks there that have lived in town for a while, get to know them, and kind of build them together. It's really straightforward. I'm relatively handy, but not good at finish work. I was really concerned with building inserts and thinking that it would be, the detail would be a challenge, but it was really straightforward. I did a lot of the wrapping with the plastic and stuff, and they train you ahead of time real quickly and let you go. There were actually 2 of us who were new to it, who did a bunch of windows, and they came out real good. So yeah, it's a great program to be part of the community, get some savings, pretty cost effective to do, and highly recommend being part of the program.
That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. And head over to the town website and subscribe to the town's email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. We'll be back on February 14th for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a good weekend, Exeter.